If you are saving money but still feel poor each year, the problem may not be discipline. It may be timing. Income often adjusts slowly, while rent, groceries, transportation, insurance, and school costs move on their own schedules. Inflation is difficult because it changes the job of every dollar. A cash cushion that covered 3 months of basic expenses last year may cover less today, even if the account balance looks unchanged. This video is not about hot stock tips, guaranteed returns, or one perfect product. It is about turning inflation from an abstract percentage into a household cash flow map. We will look at where money comes in, which expenses take it first, and why different piles of cash need different jobs. CPI is useful, but it is not your personal budget. It is more like an economic thermometer than a household decision tool. The official basket averages many goods and services, but your life is not an average basket. A renter, a commuter, a parent, a caregiver, and a retiree can all experience the same inflation number very differently. If rent is 40% of your income, housing inflation matters more to you than it does to someone who owns a paid-off home. If you drive a long distance every day, fuel and maintenance matter more. So the first question is not, what product should I buy? The first question is, which part of my spending gets hit first when prices rise? Before choosing any financial tool, separate fixed costs from flexible costs. Fixed costs include rent, mortgage payments, insurance, childcare, tuition, subscriptions, and loan payments. They usually take money before you get to make many choices. Flexible costs include meals out, entertainment, shopping, travel, and some transportation habits. They can be adjusted, but they also leak quietly when nobody is watching. Inflation hurts in different ways across these categories. When fixed costs rise, free cash flow shrinks immediately. When flexible costs rise, you may feel confused because you did not buy anything dramatic, yet the month still ends tight. Classification is not about guilt. It is about seeing which levers exist and which ones need earlier planning. The real stress of inflation often appears as a cash flow gap. Income arrives on one rhythm. Bills arrive on another rhythm. Daily spending happens in small pieces. Emergencies ignore your calendar completely. When expenses rise faster than income, people begin using savings to support normal life, using credit cards to delay pressure, or moving money that was supposed to protect the future. Without a map, that gap can feel like personal failure. With a map, it becomes a system problem. Where is money entering too slowly? Where is money leaving too quickly? Which account has no buffer? Seeing the gap helps you decide whether the next move is earning more, cutting a specific cost, building safety cash, or changing long-term allocation. Many households keep cash in one general pile, so the balance looks simple, but the mind feels crowded. The same pile is expected to pay this month's bills, handle a car repair, cover annual taxes, prepare for a future home purchase, and protect long-term purchasing power. Every withdrawal feels like stealing from the future, and every deposit feels unclear because you do not know which goal it supports. Cash is not one kind of money. Cash has jobs. Daily cash keeps life running. Safety cash protects you from surprises. Long-term purchasing power money supports goals that are years away. When these jobs are separated, saving becomes more than accumulating a number. It becomes an operating system for decisions. The first job is daily cash. Its priority is not high return. Its priority is stability, clarity, and availability. Daily cash pays rent, mortgage payments, groceries, utilities, transportation, phone bills, insurance, and normal household needs. If daily cash is exposed to market swings, your basic life becomes tied to short-term volatility. That is not a strong foundation. A practical check is simple. If next month's paycheck arrived 10 days late, could the daily account still cover required bills without borrowing? If the answer is no, improving daily cash stability matters more than searching for a clever investment idea. Inflation makes this foundation more important because normal expenses can absorb more of each paycheck before you notice. The second job is safety cash. Its priority is liquidity and emotional protection. Safety cash is not a trophy balance, and it is not money that can never be touched. It is the buffer that gives you time when work, health, family, housing, or transportation breaks the plan. Without safety cash, people are more likely to sell long-term assets at a bad time, borrow at a high cost, or accept poor choices because they need money immediately. The correct amount is not identical for everyone. It depends on job stability, family responsibility, insurance coverage, and how easily expenses can be reduced. The value of safety cash is not maximum yield. Its value is choice under pressure. The third job is long-term purchasing power money. This money should not be needed soon because it serves goals several years away or longer. Retirement, education, a future home, a business plan, or simple future flexibility. This is the category where financial tools can be discussed more seriously, but the order still matters. Time horizon comes first. Risk tolerance comes second. Product comes third. Money needed in 3 months should not carry meaningful market risk. Money that will not be touched for several years can be reviewed differently. This is not a promise that investing solves inflation. It is a reminder that doing nothing also has a cost when prices change over time. Many people become anxious and immediately search for products, high-yield savings, bonds, ETFs, insurance, deposits, mutual funds, or short-term trades. But if the job of the money is unclear, even a good product can be in the wrong place. Use a map before products. First, list the expenses that are likely within the next 12 months. Second, estimate the basic living expenses that would define a safety line for several months. Third, identify money that is not needed for at least 3 years. Fourth, write the time horizon, acceptable volatility, and failure point for each pile. After that, some money will clearly need safety rather than return. Some money will need discipline rather than excitement. Only some money belongs in a long-term purchasing power discussion. Here are 3 actions to take from this framework. First, review the last 3 months of spending and label fixed, flexible, and surprise expenses. Look for the items most likely to rise with inflation. Second, divide cash into daily cash, safety cash, and long-term purchasing power money, even if the first version is only a spreadsheet with 3 columns. Third, write the purpose and time horizon before choosing any financial product. This is not investment advice, and it does not guarantee any result. It is a way to make cash easier to understand. When each dollar has a job, inflation stops being only a scary headline. It becomes a cash flow problem you can monitor, review, and adjust. The final point is to make the review repeatable. A cash flow map is not a one-time worksheet. Inflation, income, family responsibilities, rent, insurance, and taxes can all change. Set a regular review date and ask the same questions again. Which fixed cost changed? Which flexible cost crept higher? Is daily cash still stable? Is safety cash still large enough to buy time? Is long-term money still matched to the correct horizon? This repeatable review is what turns the framework into a habit instead of a motivational exercise. BA. This framework has an important boundary. It does not tell you which stock, fund, bond, deposit, or insurance product to buy. It does not promise that any return will beat inflation. It does not replace professional advice for taxes, debt, retirement, or complex family situations. Its job is simpler. It helps you label money before choosing tools. When the label is clear, the conversation becomes more honest. Short-term money needs protection. Emergency money needs access. Long-term money needs a plan that matches your risk capacity. That order keeps inflation planning grounded in real life instead of product anxiety.